morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. I think today is the big day. At least it's the big day for step 22 because, as near as I can tell, all our little parts now are finally painted and assembled to the place where they can be completely assembled. For instance, we can now put the toilet together onto the plumbing. All our little desks are got the tops painted green. I just did this one this morning. It could maybe use another coat, but anyway, so that one's ready to go. And I've touched up places like, I think it was the K9 that we were looking at yesterday where I had accidentally got the gray around onto the brown. Well, I've since rebrowned. We are ready to assemble here. A lot of these pieces are going to require the macro lens because they are so tiny. At least I think we're going to need the macro lens. Some of them we won't. It's going to go really fast. It's going to go really fast. I think that probably in about an hour or two, we're going to be done. And we're going to be starting step 23. Unless something unforeseen happens, like I accidentally break something and have to... I don't see how I don't think I will. One of the things that does concern me is when I glue the stools together, and there's two of them, even though the step only calls for one, I've decided to do two, and there's another one goes somewhere in maybe the next module, I don't know. But what we'll do is we'll do the two stools, I'll put one in a test tube, and then we'll have it for when we get to that part. Now, about the little radio that we did yesterday, that I was kind of disappointed the way the decal went on, and that's partially because I did the heat gun thing, partially because I did not get all the bubbles out from underneath it before it started to, settle down. I was thinking, why don't I just remove the decal and paint the details? But I thought, when I'm looking at it like this, it actually looks pretty good because you can't see the flaws. Even this close. Maybe if I put my magnification hood on, I'd be able to see it. But we're just going to leave it. And so we got that. And the little stools, when I go to, and I started to say, when I place them onto the seats or the seats onto the legs, I want to make sure that I don't put too much glue on, because that's one of the things that I have a bad habit of doing. Okay, next thing on the agenda. We probably are not going to see the sunrise this morning. It's not going to happen for a few minutes yet, but you can sort of see a little bit of in the corner there. But anyway, enough about the sunrise. Got a reply from Corey. Corey saw his happy birthday greeting, and in his reply he mentioned that he was going to go to see the USS Iowa, but it was raining. And that's nice when you're only about 40 miles away from it, like 60 kilometers here in Canada. I make too big a deal about that. And it was raining, so he didn't go, but he mentioned that he was going to see if they were still selling that decking, and because he knew that I would like to turn a pen out of that wood, and get enough for 2 pens, Corey. I'll make one for you and one for me, one for the model table here. That'd be unique. Anyway, I said to him that don't worry if the wood is a little bit on the punky side, because what I can do is I can use my vacuum chamber and pressure pot and acrylic, like I did when I made the sprue pen. I can do that and it'll work. Actually, this pen from the wood from Tennessee Jim was actually quite porous, but it's smooth now because it's been what I call stabilized with acrylic, and it turned out quite nice. Uh, okay, enough about pen turning because we're not going to be doing that today. Let's get ourselves recomposed here. Try and quickly get these parts together, and then we can move on to step 23 and work on the table. Yeah. And by the way, that the term that I was trying to remember, where the leaves fold down, it's a drop leaf table, and I don't know why I couldn't think of that name. Probably because I haven't used it for I was going to say 100 years, but maybe more like 50 years. Okay. Yeah. Let's get at it. Moving from left to right here in step 22. We put the toilet together first. And the toilet is going to be plugged in right here in let's get it right to the world here. Okay, these two little holes here are for the plumbing pieces. And we may as well get all the plumbing pieces together. Okay, we need the bowl. We need the seat and the cover, okay, which are already put together. Then we need this piece of plumbing and also this piece of plumbing. Now this piece of plumbing, these two pieces of plumbing have to be put together, as you can see right here. In order to make sure that I've got them lined up, I think it might be a good idea to get them plugged in place here first and just see how everything is. Okay, this smaller one plugs in. You know what? I think we should be sticking our macro lens on here. Yeah, just let me recompose here. Okay, this is where a person wishes they had just little tiny fingers. I was going to use Tony's tweezers, but this stuff is so small even Tony's tweezers won't. Okay, so this has to go. Let's get it turned over here so I can grab hold of it. Now, this goes like this. Okay. I think we're probably going to be safe to just use a tiny little bit of extra thin right in there and then drop this down in there, and it'll probably start melting almost right away. I don't want to scratch the paint off it with the tweezers. That's where Tony's tweezers are good because they got the shrink wrap tubing on there. Okay, let's I think we're just about lined up here. Let's just put this down here where I can grab onto it, and we'll get some extra thin and just put a little droplet, if I can, right in that hole there. And then before it completely hardens and what I call crystallizing, we'll see if we can get this pin and this pin to line up with this hole and this hole. Now, I may have gotten too much off of my. No, I can see it going in there. Yeah, we're getting some extra thin in there. I don't want to be putting in so much that it's going to glue itself to the green cloth either. No. Is it lined up? It sort of is. Give it a little bit of pressure here. Push it down into the hole. I think it's melting. Okay. Now, we have to get, maybe I should reposition so we're not looking so straight down on it. We have to try and get the pegs in the holes there. Then are we going to be able to drop the toilet down onto this peg here? I think we probably can. Yeah, just let me reposition and come in a little bit more from the side like this. I'll be able to see it better. Now, when I was looking in the monitor just now to make sure I had everything all lined up, I was noticing that we had not used the panel line accent color in these panels. We were going to do that, weren't we? Okay, I have to turn this down. Maybe if I grabbed it like this and then came in like this, how would this work? I don't know if it's going to be possible to get both of these in place at the same time. Okay, I got that one in. Maybe if I could gently hold it down and try and get this one in. Oh, it's coming loose, isn't it? Okay, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll put some extra thin in those holes so that it's going to want to stay there. There we go. A little bit there. A little bit there. I don't know if that's enough. Now pick this up like this. Turn it like this. It's just about pinging out of my tweezer. There. It's not quite straight up and down. No, it's got to, the whole thing has to be tweaked that way. There we go. I'm looking straight down on it so I can see the, you know, I can see that it is, that this part here that you can barely see is going to be straight up and down once this thing is, I think it's about down as it's going to get here. And everything is shoved together. Okay, let's just leave that for a little bit, and we'll go ahead now and assemble the toilet bowl. Remember a couple of days ago I was talking about there's a little notch here? Well, that apparently is probably for the back of the seat. You can see there's a little thing right here. That's got to go in that notch. Now I know I didn't paint the bottom, but that's okay. The lid's going to stay down anyway. Earlier this morning I had taken the bowl here off of the rotating block, but I think I'm going to put it back on. Give us just a little bit more stability when I'm trying to manipulate the, I think that's going to be, yeah, that's not going to move around. Okay, so when we try to position the seat here, it's not going to be rolling over on me. Okay, now where is that little notch? Okay, I see it here. Now this may not fit down into the way it's supposed to. It might just sort of sit on top of everything. As long as we get it generally lined up, and the glue will harden that way. It doesn't really want to lock into place, does it? I think what I'm going to have to do is is get some extra thin on the top there and let it dissolve the paint. And then place this on there, and just it'll probably stay there. I'll just get everything sort of lined up here so we just drop it on after. And we'll get our extra thin. I don't have so much that it's going to be running down into the bowl and spoiling the paint. Mind you, the inside, no one's going to see it anyway. I think that should dissolve. That should be enough. I don't think I need to try and put any on the bottom side of the seat. Oh, it pinged up on me. Well, fortunately, I knew where it went here. Didn't go very far. Ooh, and I bumped it out of focus probably. Just let me check the monitor. Oh no, it's still there. Now we don't have all day to do this. The glue is going to start to dry on me. It doesn't seem to want to be sticking. I wonder why that is. Okay, I'm putting pressure on it. Oh, okay, and that's not working. Then let's do it this way. Oh, you know what? I think I see what might be the problem. We've got ourselves CA glue built up. I'm just going to take my hobby knife and clean that up a little bit. Yeah, just let me push stop here for a second. Okay, we're going to try something a little bit different here. Now, let's rehydrate the top of this. Ooh, don't lose my grip now. And then we're going to put some on here. Now, I don't want to get it where the tweezer is. I'm going to try and turn this over and get this on like this. And let go. Okay, I'm looking straight down on it now. Just let me check the monitor. I think that's going to be all right. Usually when I do try to put pressure on something, I move it and it gets out of whack a little bit. So I'm just sort of pressing down here. Not real hard, but firmly. So I think melding is going to take place now. You know, it could be that this paint that we're using now, Mr. Hobby Paint, does not have the dissolving properties with the CA glue that the extra thin, or the Tamiya XF paints do. So, okay, let's just leave that now for a moment. Good morning. Okay, what do we got here? We got an excited little dog who's trying to smile. Yeah, are you trying to smile? Okay, now we have concluded that you should be only getting half a dog cookie because you've been leaving it out there for the rabbits to eat. Yes, you have. Yeah, you've been leaving it for the rabbits. Yeah, are you trying to smile? Huh? Okay, here's half a dog cookie for you. Whoops. Okay, quite a bit of time has passed here, like maybe 3 hours or more. And when I was here at the model table, I don't know why, but I got, you might say, a bit of a powerful hankering for a salad. Well, I didn't have any salad ingredients in the house whatsoever. No lettuce, no celery, no nothing. And so I went to Superstore this morning. And you might say I got my exercise. It was no fun. When I was out there, I realized how terribly cold it was. The wind was so cold. Now, is this going to fit on there? I've got to be careful not to push too hard. I'm going to break the plumbing off. Yeah, I think we can put that on there. Maybe we'll let gravity be our friend here, and I'll get the helping hands to hold this up so that it's at 90 degrees, and then we'll just put some glue on there and just set that in place properly. Yeah. Maybe these tweezers might work better. See what happens here. I'm just doing a dry run here. Yeah, that's going to work good. Okay, well, let's get the macro lens on. Don't do this to me now. Maybe if I get myself down at an angle here, I can see the bottom better. Okay, I'll get myself right overhead and look straight down. I can make sure that that looks good to me. Just let me check the monitor and see about horizontal. Maybe it could go a tiny bit to the right. Okay. Must have been interesting to try and sit on one of those things when it was in a steep dive or a steep ascent, right? Okay, we'll just leave that for a while. Let's move on to another part. Now, the K11 here, it needs 4 pieces to go on this side. And I don't know about the other side. Let's take a little peek here. Yeah, there's looks like there's stuff that has to go on the other side. Okay, now probably the most difficult piece is going to be okay, this piece goes like this. Will probably be this light fixture here. There are 2 little pegs underneath there, but I think they're kind of got themselves with glue. Maybe what I'll do is I will put the glue on the light. Got to get something that's not going to ping off. I wonder if maybe could be the Tony's tweezers will grab onto this better. Just let me. Where are they? They're kind of rubbery. Less chance of it slipping, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll put a little bit of glue on that part where the pegs are. I'm just going to quickly do it off camera here. And it kind of ran on me. It's not quite straight. But I do believe the pegs went into the holes. That was a surprise. Let's try and get it on there straight and then let go of it. Okay, let's just let that dry. Now the radio is going to go on here. I think we'll do the same thing on the radio. I'll put the glue on just on the inside here. Maybe I should have done a dry run, right? I'm sure that's going to be enough. Okay, now Have to take it off camera to get it positioned. Now I can probably feel it better with my finger when it locks into place there. Or maybe not. Oops. Well, for sure it's not coming off, is it? Now the desk, maybe for the desk I won't do that. I'll just go around the edge like this. Just let it wick its way up. There's not going to be any stress on this. It's not like this particular part has to... It may not wick its way up. Okay, is that on there? I think it's on there. Yeah, it looks good. Now this other disc right here, doing along the edges like this kind of softens it, so if it wants to bind. I think we got most of it here. Okay, now get that positioned. There, it's on. All right. Let's move on to something else. Now, come on. All right, it's supposed to go like this. Okay, now can I hold it with my left hand while I apply the glue with my right? Now we're going to want to be careful we don't break this out. I want to get it straight. The hole is actually quite a bit larger than the... okay, I do believe that's in there. Just let me check the monitor. Yeah, it looks okay. Alright, now this piece actually goes on the other side, but am I going to break the toilet paper off if I turn this over? I wonder maybe I should just wait a little bit here, and we'll do this later. Let's move on to the other piece that looks a lot like this. Okay, and that is this piece here that we just put all these parts on. Now, this, how does this go here? Let me check the manual. Yeah, it goes with this whatever it is in the lower position. And okay. Now, watch that we're not going to be breaking something off here when I put a little bit of pressure on it. And it doesn't look like I am. That should stay there. Okay, I think that this piece is done now, at least for this step. It does appear that there's other stuff that's going to happen, like there's an opening there, but I think some sort of a pipe or a vent or something like that passes through there. Okay, so this is done. Now, what's going to happen if I'm just sort of eyeballing along the edge. Oh no, I can see that the toilet paper is going to be protected as long as I don't, slide it around on something that's a little bit rough like that. Okay, so this one. Okay, and it's supposed to go like this with this thing on the out. Alright, now it's careful now for our toilet paper. I guess I could just leave it flat like that, couldn't I? Yeah, that's going to meld really good. Okay, there's not a whole lot left. Well, there's the two stools. We'll use the macro lens for that. Well, I guess, you know what, the macro lens is actually on, but it's backed off about, 30 centimeters or more. Okay, our two stools, as near as I can tell, are about the last thing in this step. And you can see on the bottom of the stool, it's got these little holes. And you can almost see that there looks like little pins on the top here, but not really. But I think the easiest way to do this, instead of trying to put this on here and not being able to see, will be to turn it upside down and then take the stool here and try and place it, if I can get the angle just right here. Something like that. I'm just doing a dry run here. Yeah, I think that's going to work really good. Okay, let's just do that. I may as well just leave the camera running here. And turn this one over. Okay, am I going to be centered in the... Let me check the monitor. Now, if I move this one over here, and this one over here. Okay, now... Got our extra thin, put a little droplet there. Oh my, that wicked its way pretty bad, didn't it? Well, story of my life. Okay, now try and get this on here like this. Oh, try and let go of it when it's sticking on me. I need another pair of tweezers or something here. Maybe I could hold it down with the hobby knife. That'd work. I should have anticipated that. Gotta get the angle just right here. Why won't that stay? It was sort of staying by itself before. No, it won't stay. Maybe I can get it now. There. Almost. If I could just push it in. There. I think it's basically locked into place. Okay, now this one. Just move this out of the way here. Gently, gently, gently. Okay. I guess it doesn't have to be envisioned, does it? No! Maybe I'll just use my fingers. Or my thumb. See my finger, see my thumb. Forget the rest of that poem. Oh, see my fist, you'd better run. Okay, let's leave it. I think it's basically good here. It doesn't look like it's going to be straight, though, when it dries. The top of the stool is going to be crooked. Okay. Run. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hold it down to start with. I can't let go of it. There. But the far leg is not in the hole. No, I think my glue is drying out on me here. Okay, I'm putting a little pressure on and just sort of wiggling it around. Okay. It's, I'm just sort of trying to angle myself around here to see it. I think that's the way they're gonna have to be. Okay, I realize that you cannot see the clock. And you cannot see my watch unless I go like this. But it's approximately 20 minutes to 2. Okay, I'm going to call her quits for today. And it's an extremely strong, cold wind. I just met the letter carrier at the door, and she was complaining about the wind. How cold it was. So I don't know if I'm going to get out on my e-bike later or not. I might just go for a very short ride. Anyway, I'm going to call her quits here for this afternoon, and I do believe we have done everything on step 22 now. If anybody sees something that I missed, in the comments below, please. In the meantime, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.